sui sospiri cielo si vuoi io non chiedo cielo si può morire io non chiedo. Opera has to be loud, right? Wrong. Hi everyone, Jojo Choli here at the Academy of Bel Canto. We are talking about opera and bel canto and dynamics. So one thing that is often misunderstood with many teachers and singers is this idea that if it's opera, it must be loud, it must be forte, fortissimo all the time, and that just simply is not the case with bel canto. Because if you listen to the older singers, they had an ability to sing what Gilli called sul fiato, but also con appoggiare, with appoggio. So, not to get too technical into those two aspects, but the approach that they were using allowed them to have a complexity of dynamics within one piece of music. You listen to the music of Carlo Buti, and he sings with great flexibility and pliability in his voice. His dynamics go from everywhere, from pianissimo most of the time, and then all of a sudden he opens up the voice, and you're like, oh wow, he has quite a big voice underneath of that very, very lofty sound. So the ability to sing pianissimo, piano, and forte in bel canto is approached with a different perspective and a different technique than the modern day singer. Most of the modern day singing piano, it sounds very restricted and constrained. When you hear them try to go from forte to piano, when you hear them try to mezza di voce, you oftentimes hear this dulling of the sound. So if I was to do that here, spir, cielo si può morire, di più non chiedo. If I went and I started more forte or mezzo forte and I tried to go to piano, this is what I hear from the modern day singer. I hear this muscle pulling back. They go it's very stuck in the back of the mouth. When the voice is trained in bel canto, it's trained from a place of focus, but also a simplicity. When you start the sound, it starts from a place of focus and simplicity. So when you are training singers and when teachers, you are training your singers, it's very important to teach from the very beginning that the connection must be built from a place of focus and simplicity. This is why when you hear Gilli sing this, he sings di più non chiedo. It's a little more full voiced, but then he's saying heavens. Yes? He doesn't go heavens. No, he doesn't try to muscle and create this loud, obnoxious sound. He finds a place of intimacy within the music because he was able to. And it still had vibrancy. It still had the squillo leading the body. It still had that release forward that singers want. So instead of singing it the way I sang it the first time, he sings it a little bit differently. He goes non chiedo, non chiedo. Cielo si può morire. And then he allows for the complete release of resonance and the opening of the sound later on. But it's very important, singers, to understand that when you're beginning to approach bel canto, it's very, very different, as we spoke about before, than the modern day approach. You have to start from simplicity. When you start from simplicity, it's almost like it's just too easy, and I've heard singers talk about the crossover ability of the older singers. Mario Lanza did a lot of crossover singing, but a lot of the singers before that, Carlo Butti was not the only one. Gigli sang a lot of Italian songs, more commercial popular songs of the time, as well as the people before him, the singers before him. But why was it that they were able to do that? And a lot of times I hear singers on social media talking about this, and they say things like, oh, it's because they just had such a different sound, and the recording was different, and society was different. No, it was a different technique entirely. You see, there was this idea, speech or sing as you speak and speak as you sing. When you are taught that within the Italian culture with a bel canto technique, again, bel canto is a technique. It's a specific approach to voice cultivation. When you are taught that, that's when you can sing like when Carlo Butti sings La Strada nel Bosco. He doesn't sing Le prime stelle in cielo. No, he sings Le prime stelle in cielo brillano già. And there's a floating that happens. Tra I bianco spini il vento mormorai va. And he just allows the sound to float, to release. Now, he can allow more body to come through. But again, we're not pushing body through. The secret to singing a very, very wide variety and range of dynamics within a one piece of music, it lies in the training of the voice. Training the voice to be able to start from a very focused position. A very, very simple sound. Very simple approach to the voice. Almost speech-like, but with the shape of pure vowels, with proper breath and body coordination, and that's it. Bel canto is very simple. It's very complex, but it's very simple. Gary, an inch wide and a mile deep, he would say. And that's very, very correct. Because bel canto is, from the singer standpoint, a very, very easy approach, because there's only a couple foundational concepts that the singer has to do, and it's the teacher's responsibility to hear and advise based on what they're hearing. So from the teacher's perspective, it's very, very difficult. So I want you to hear again how I start from a place of focus and release. Release always starts the sound. But depending on how much body is allowed through based on the state of the connection, that is what determines where or how much body I can allow to be released within a certain phrase for my forte, for my mezzo forte and above. So again, accello, sospir, you hear how I start from focus. I do not go I don't go I don't change the vowel. I go sospir, and then I allow the jaw to come down without compromising the quality of the vowel. I'm still singing E, but I let the jaw lengthen down. Pillars stay high. Now, it's piano. So start from that focused place, but don't rush breath, don't push body, just allow the sound to exist. It's still piano. We can allow a little more body to come through, but it always starts from focus. And what is the vowel that we're singing? Chiedo. You don't want to cover the upper teeth. You allow the smile. Yes, the inner smile. Release towards la campana, and you'll feel appoggio build up. You're not going to push into it. So this has been a little introduction as to the approach to dynamics within bel canto. Why is bel canto not necessarily just singing loud like opera is considered today? Opera is kind of trademarked by a very specific quality in the voice, but also singing at a very, very high or loud dynamic marking. But that necessarily, or isn't necessarily the way bel canto, the old schools of classical music, trained the voice. So, of course, as always, if you have any other questions or you want to dive deeper into bel canto, we do have a restructuring of our program. We'll have a video of that coming very soon. But you can learn more about the Academy of Bel Canto at www.academyofbelcanto.com, or you can always send us an email at vocalmastery1@gmail.com. We would love to hear your questions, your concerns, your aspirations. But, as always, the Academy of Bel Canto welcomes you, and we will see you for your next video.